Oh, hello there. I am Joseph. Hello. If you're here, you have read my things and you know that I like reviewing video games. And I'm currently reviewing Mario's 3D World. That is not the way that game is supposed to be pronounced, but I will be reviewing it. And more importantly, I'll be talking about Bowser's Fury, which is the new hotness. And I'm really enjoying it. I just beat it, and I'm now getting all of the shines. And once I've done that, I'm going to write my review. I wanted to give a quick 5 minute. We'll see how long this goes. I'm almost in a minute anyway, so it might be longer than that. But I'm going to give a quick idea of my thoughts because I thought it'd be interesting to capture how I'm feeling right now before I write out my thesis on the game. And I know that sounds pretentious. Bear with me. My thesis on this game is that it is the biggest Mario ROM hack ever put to games. And I know that is a silly thing to do. I know that is a silly thing to say, but I think it's true. I think this is a Mario ROM hack. Change my mind. That is currently part of the working headline for this piece, which hopefully I can convince myself not to do that eventually. Yeah, so what is Bowser's Fury? It is an open world Mario game where you go between different kind of hub areas, not hub areas, but different kind of towers that are surrounded by a little play area, and you get all the shines, and then you get a flag on it, and then you move on to the next one. At least that's how I play it. I can't move on until I've finished everything. Not so true. Near the end of it, I've rushed a bit, but to put it in perspective, you can beat the game with 50 shines. I beat the game with 60 something because I beat it with 58. I beat it with 58 because I just wanted to keep collecting shines. I mean, I just did the final boss anyway. This game is really good, and you've seen Twitter. You've seen the people calling this a prototype for what next Mario game comes. And is it a prototype for whatever the next Mario game is? I don't know. I'm not Nintendo, but what I do know is that the thing I'm feeling about this game is that it is an amazing ROM hack. Or original game made out of assets from a previous Mario game is maybe more accurate, but I think ROM hack, because the thing that ROM hacks do at their best is they take what is there in a game and they repurpose it for really interesting stuff. Whether that be brand new levels or a brand new world map which does interesting stuff. I've seen, Dark World and Light World mechanics in Super Mario World, using that kind of stuff. And so what a ROM hack does at its best and most interesting is it takes what is there and it does very different things with it. And that is something that I think works really well in this game, is that they are taking the basic movement mechanics and power-ups and enemy types and level configurations from 3D World, and they're just putting it into the context of a 3D Mario game. At its best, this game is a 3D World level that you then jump out of and into an open world and then go to another 3D World level. That is often how it feels, but the thing I also love about this is that it's modular, that you will go to an area at the first time. So say there's one area where you have to hit the bullies, which are the large enemies that will charge at you. You have to hit them into the lava. Okay, cool. The second time you go to that level, it is Magic Koopas, so you kill the Magic Koopas. Then another time you go to the level, you have to get all of these blue coins in order to get the shine there. And there are bees everywhere just trying to get in your way. The basic terrain is the same. It's still these platforms that change every time you jump. It's still lava underneath them. It's still the same terrain. But the mechanics that are being taken in and out of the area are different, and are being moved in and out depending on the shine you're doing. And it's never something you choose to do. You just go back there and it's different. And it's not explained that it's different. There's nothing that says it is other than the tower is now dark. So looking a while away, because the draw distance is pretty good, that world has changed, and you can visit it, and you can see something not entirely different, but something that is modularly different. And that, to me, is a really interesting game design. It's something that Odyssey only ever really did after you, change the world state, where, for example, in, the Mexico Kingdom, it's not what it's called, but it's what it is. It's really weird. But in that kingdom, when it becomes nighttime after it starts in day, some stuff is different, and there's some new stuff for you to do. And once you beat the game, there are new shines that are populated in the world. But that's when the game state massively changes. Here, it's you complete an objective, you fight Bowser, and then all of a sudden there's new stuff, and it feels seamless, and it never feels forced. And I think pause is a bad word for this, but it never feels like, you never see the stagehands moving things around. They're dressed in black, you can't see them. It's a bad analogy, I know, but you get what I'm saying. Like, it is interesting how seamless it feels, that these little areas, and I think modular like design is an interesting like way to look at this, is that it is modular, because what you're doing is you're not changing out this terrain for a whole new level. You are taking what's there in the level and you're taking one bit out and putting another bit in, and like it fits into that space really well. And so like it feels like a comparison I'll make in the review is there are levels at the end of 3D World where they take levels from the beginning of 3D World and throughout 3D World, and they make it a time trial, make it have way harder, put way more enemies, put a different mechanic in there. And like that is a thing that the end of 3D Worlds does to a not so great effect, because you've already seen these levels and it kind of diminishes them, and yeah, it just feels like it's there to challenge you. Whereas in this game, it's just there to give you more stuff to do and to make something that you've completed that feels maybe old, to make it new again. And to make it so you're not doing the exact same things over and over again as well. The way they use the same challenge again, but heighten the difficulty slightly to make it harder. I will say there is one challenge in this game I hated, which was the blue coins with the boot, because the boot is the worst thing to maneuver, and I just can't do it, and it just took me so many attempts. But other than that, like, I like the way that it will take terrain you are familiar with and add a new challenge in to make it feel fresh. Also, this game is adorable. Bowser Jr. is very cute. I want him as a friend. Nintendo, I will cry if you do not give me a plush. It can or cannot be a cushion-sized plush that I can just have in my bed and cuddle with. That sounded weird, but you know what I mean. Plus, he's just adorable. He's my friend, and I want to pet him. God, I'm making this sound worse than it is. I'm trying to be wholesome. It's sounding worse. Anyway, that is my early thoughts and opinions on... Early, I've almost beat this, but it's my current thoughts and opinions on Bowser's Fury, and like... Yeah, so the basic idea of what I'll be talking about in the review is just Bowser's Fury, how it feels like it is taking elements from 3D World and putting them into a context which shouldn't work, and at times doesn't, but when it does work, it's amazing. And I keep on seeing people say they should, like, this is a prototype for the next 3D game. And I think there's a ring of truth in that. Maybe that a new 3D game could be like this. But I think if it's going to be like this, it needs to be designed with this in mind, because there are limitations to the version that's in here. Because there are moments when you can feel the 3D World engine, and graphically, this is the case. The game looks bad at times. The draw distance isn't amazing, and there's some issues. There's some issues with textures and everything else, and performance occasionally, especially in handheld. But like, if they were to make a game like this out of scratch, I think this would be incredible. I didn't love Odyssey's post game at all. I preferred going through the motions and then just playing that. And when it got to doing like individual challenges, it always just felt so boring. Whereas in this game, I want to get every single shine because every new challenge is a joy. And it doesn't feel like I'm pixel hunting. It doesn't feel like I'm just doing a random thing and there's a shine for it. There are things kind of like that, but they still, shines are lampposted in this game in a way where it makes sense and you understand what's happening. So yeah, in general, like, I really like this game. I really like what they've done with it, and I am very positive on the whole thing in general. It's only 3 hours, but like, I'm never going to be a person who advocates that something being of a small length makes it less worth something. I believe there's merit in, like, these games cost money, and there is merit in consumer criticism that takes length into account. But just because it's shorter does not take away a number. Like, it's shorter, but the content is rich enough to where I could see myself playing through this again tomorrow and being fine with that. I adore this game, and I already adored 3D World, and I really love Bowser's Fury, and if this is any indication, which once again, it could be nothing, it could be a one-off thing, never do again, but if this is any indication of what the future of Mario is, I'm very excited. Also, if this is any indication of Plessy and his future role in the series, I am elated. So yeah, Nintendo, keep making Plessy stuff. Make a plush, please, or I will scream. But yeah, thank you so much for listening. If you listen to this, a review will be coming sometime next week. I write fast, but like, I need to take my time on this one just to finish the game. and just get some thoughts in order. But hopefully this helped me do that, and hopefully, when the review comes out, it'll be less rambly and I won't be kind of like falling over myself. But yeah, thank you so much for listening. Please read my Alan Wake pieces. I'm very proud of them. Please comment. Please comment. It'd be great to get some feedback more often. I I'm happy with my work, but it'd be nice to see how other people see it. Also, if you are listening to this and you are the person who runs a Final Fantasy blog, I love you. Thank you. No, not in that way, but it was so bizarre seeing that, and maybe one day I'll ask you what Final Fantasy 14 is, and you can show me, because that game is. Whew, I want to get into it for reasons I don't understand, but it is scary. But yeah, so thank you so much for listening, and catch you next time. Bye, byes.